In the deep dive now, we are taking a live look out at the Bay Bridge during a busy and pretty foggy travel weekend. Many people are either back home or they're heading home now after that rainy holiday.
Our Tom Rousey joins us live now from Sandy Point State Park. And Tom, the busy season for the bridge is picking up, but there's a plan in the works to make that view right behind you look a bit different.
Yeah, Michelle and Scott, this is the first busy season where there will be an approved plan in place to do something about this bridge, which definitely has too much traffic at the moment. Now, if you look at the distance there, the westbound traffic has actually improved over the last hour of folks coming back from the beach. That is the good news. The bad news is we got a whole summer ahead where that beach or that bridge is going to be congested a lot. But again, there is a plan in place, but you're going to have to wait a while.
I kept my eyes in the middle to make sure I wasn't distracted.
While visiting family in Maryland, Tricia Page of California got her first experience driving over the Bay Bridge.
It was kind of a little nerve-wracking.
That's what many have said over the decades, along with complaints about how heavy the traffic can get.
And then a lot of people having accidents on the bridge. That even makes it even more worse.
Devon Randolph lives on the Eastern Shore and makes deliveries across the bridge several times a week. He's glad state leaders have a plan in place to replace the bridge, but he's not happy construction is not expected to start until summer 2032 at the earliest.
So I think we need it now. Not later now.
In December, the Maryland Transportation Authority's board passed a plan to build two brand new spans and tear down the old ones. Each of the new spans will have 4 lanes, and unlike the current spans, they'll actually have shoulders. The new bridge will also be taller, but the cost is expected to be around $15 billion minimum, possibly a lot more. However, the MDTA says it is making progress. After December's vote, in January, an environmental impact statement was put out. In February, public hearings were held, and a necessary step called a record of decision is expected this fall. In 2028, work to design the new bridge is expected to start. That's not soon enough, though, for many.
We can't wait that long. Like, it's going to be backed up forever.
And you know, when the Chesapeake Bay Bridge originally opened, it was 1952 and it was only one span. The second span was actually added in 1973. So that means even the newest part of the bridge is still more than 50 years old at this point, Scott.
Well, Tom, you mentioned a bunch of upcoming changes. What other safety features will that new bridge have?
Well, one of the big things we mentioned, it's going to be wider, a lot wider, but taller. This is important because the new bridge will be tall enough to meet Coast Guard requirements, the state of Maryland says, and also they say it'll give more clearance for big ships. Of course, that's especially important after what happened up in Baltimore with the Key Bridge. Reporting live in Annapolis at Sandy Point State Park, I'm Tom Rousey, 7 News.
All right, Tom, yeah, and speaking of, Maryland is also working on that big change to its Baltimore Key Bridge rebuild plan 2 years after the deadly collapse. The state terminated its agreement with a contractor due to some rising costs, and now the MDTA says it's going to split the rebuild into 4 contracts. The design process for a new bridge is about 70% complete. Construction on the new bridge is expected to last through at least early 2028. Earlier this month, the DOJ announced criminal charges against the operator of the Dolly ship, which collided with the bridge. The operator is charged with conspiracy, obstruction, and misconduct resulting in death, since 6 construction workers were killed. The company issued a statement that reads in part, quote, DOJ's allegations are inconsistent with the clear and well-documented findings of the specialist maritime professionals involved in the NTSB investigation. Meanwhile, a federal judge ruled that a civil claims trial connected to the collapse will move forward despite the criminal case. That trial could start as soon as June 1st.